Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Mr. Karim Khan and I am a lecturer in the Institute of Computing, Kuwait University of Science and Technology. Today we will take lecture number 28 of the subject of Object-Oriented Analysis and Design. And in this lecture we are going to explain modeling the sequence diagram in visual paradigm. Dear students, the sequence diagram represents the sequence of different operations to be called in the program. So in the sequence diagram we have different components in the sequence and each components have different operations, and in the sequence the actor interacts with different components through their functions. So in this diagram, lecture we are explaining that how the sequence diagram will be created in visual paradigm. This is the discussion agenda. It contains the topics of driving sequence diagram, steps for creating the sequence diagram in visual paradigm, and then at the end we will perform the practical example of sequence diagram in visual paradigm. Now first, what is the sequence diagram? Sequence diagram is in fact used to show interaction between objects that are represented as a lifeline in a sequential order. The objects are the different instances of the classes and each object have different operations. So here we represent these operations in the form of the sequence, and sequence has the lifelines. Lifelines here mean that when one function is called here, then its life is completed. Then another function is we are going to call, then the life of another function starts. And when the execution of that function completes, then its life becomes complete. So by lifeline here means life of different functions, and the life of functions are represented as a bar. Now lifeline shows their interaction points with other objects in the event as well, and every object has different operations. So sequence diagram can be created by right clicking sequence diagram in the diagram navigation panel and then selecting the new sequence diagram from the pop-up menu. Now here we are going to explain different steps responsible for creating the sequence diagram. Now first of all we have to perform these steps to create a UML sequence diagram. First we have to select the diagram, then click on new button, then click on the new diagram window and then select the sequence diagram and then click next. Then we have to enter the name and description of the project, and also we have to specify the location where we want to save the project, and then at the end we will click OK. So after clicking the OK, the system will display the toolbar towards the left side and also the window pane on the center. So here first of all we need to create the actor. So from the toolbar we will click this actor icon and we will drag drop this icon on our program pane, our surface pane, and then this actor will be plotted. We can also resize this actors through the mouse here. Next we need to create the lifeline. Lifeline shows the life of the object. So here to create the lifeline we need to click on the lifeline on the diagram toolbar and then click on the diagram. And also we can use a quicker method of creating the lifelines by using just resource catalog. So resource catalog method is very much useful and easy as compared to dragging and dropping that lifeline from the toolbar. Now we have to move our mouse pointer over the source lifeline. Source lifeline here means that we have to click on this particular source lifeline button. This is a smile icon. When we click on it, it will provide us resource catalogs. So and then press on the resource catalog button. That means we have to press here, and after that release the button and place here where we want to create the lifelines. So by clicking here we create the lifeline, and then we select the message and lifeline resource catalogs. So by message here means that we will create here the lifeline catalogs. Here it is the method here means that we have to click on the resource catalogs button. Then after clicking on this button, we have to select the particular lifeline method. Here are the buttons here. Then by clicking that particular button, this lifeline will be created like this way. So after clicking on that button, the lifeline is connected with the actor and it shows the live. So live here is represented by this rectangular bar. So here we will enter the name of the enter its name and then press enter to confirm the editing. So when I will click on this, then I can edit here. So here I will provide the object name and here I will provide the functions of that object which will be called by this inspector user. So the inspector user, which is an actor, will call the functions here which we will specify of this object, and this is the execution time which is a lifeline of this object or this particular function. Now we will complete the sequence diagram by providing more lifelines. Here lifelines means that here we will provide different objects. For example, system is one of the objects, problem order is another object, and here we will specify different functions which will be associated with this system method, this system object. Like number one, on the first steps, the login will be performed. After login, open order will be executed. This means that this is the function which will be called, and after opening order, this will call the load function of the problem order, and then the customers will click. That means click on the cancels. If click on the cancels, then the close operations of the problem order will be called. So this is the sequence in which the particular functions will be called. So sequence diagram is very much similar as like the flowchart or the activity diagram, in which we perform all certain operations in the particular sequence. But here the difference is this one, that here we create the lifeline of the objects. This is the object, and you can see this bar is larger than these two bars. So that means that the customer always interacts with these two objects. So that's why this size is larger than these two lifelines. So here you can see that the lifeline of this function is this object is for three different functionalities, while the lifeline of this object is also for two different functionalities. So this shows the lifeline of this sequence diagram. Now dear students, after this theory, now we are going to create our own sequence diagram in a visual paradigm. So here we have practical sessions in the visual paradigm. So I will click on the exit slides. So the slides are exit. Now I have already launched my visual paradigm. Here I will create the sequence diagram for you. So if you want to create the new projects, so just click on the new. If you want to change in the existing projects, I want to save the existing project, or you do not want to save the existing project, just click on no, and here you provide the name of your project. For example, here I want to provide the names of your project, that is addition of two numbers. So just its name is addition, and this shows that in which tool you are going to create the project. For example, I want to create the UML project, so create a blank project. So I will click here on the blank. After clicking on the blank projects, here I will select the types of projects that I'm going to create. So I'm going to create the UML modeling projects. There are also another projects like the business modeling, SysML project, which is a system model ML project, modeling language project, requirements modeling, SOML projects, and database and impact analysis, and many other projects. So I will click on the UML modeling. So after clicking on the UML modeling, I will find here different types of UML projects which we are going to create. So here we are going to create the sequence diagram. So click on the sequence diagram, and here you need to provide the name of the sequence diagram. SD stands for sequence diagram. So my project name is, for example, I'm here creating addition of two numbers. So this is the project name. Click outside here. Now you can see that the name has been created for this particular project. Here it is a toolbar and this is our surface. So when I will click on this particular objects here from the toolbar, it will be transferred here. So just select this one. When it is clicked, you can see that its shape has been changed and it's engraved. Now I will transfer this objects here. Just drag drop here and you can see that the actor has been created, and also it is the lifeline of this actor. You can type here the particular name for your actors. For example, I want to type here the user. This is the user. Now you can see that the font of and the size of this is very much small. So to increase the size, click on the new, and also you can click on the zoom in. By this way you can increase the size. Now it has zoomed in. Now this is our user and this is the lifeline of this particular user. So you can associate different objects with this user by the many other methods. For example, you can click on here on this particular relations. This is another one. There are many other relations, but the easier method which we have discussed in the slide is just click on the resource catalogs. After clicking on the resource catalogs, you have to click on the particular message of lifeline you want to create. So just again lesson that click on this small icon, which is a resource catalogs icon, and then click on the particular lifeline you want to create. So I want to create this message lifeline. So I will just click on this and enter here. You can see that it requires typing here. Just it wants to create the name of this lifeline, but just here press enter. So when you press enter, you can see that one object of by default name of lifeline has been created. So you will rename this lifeline. So just type here the name of this objects. For example, I am typing here inputs. Inputs are to the name of this object, and click outside. If you will click outside, you can see that these the focus of this object will be removed. You can see that now it has been removed. Now there is written the number 1. Just double click on this and you can type here. For example, I want to provide the input of n1 comma n2. So I want to provide two different inputs. So 1 means that inputs of n1 and n2, two inputs will be provided here. Now to create another lifeline, here you have to click here on the lifeline of this input objects, and just exactly like click on the resource catalogs. If you will click on the resource catalogs, you can see that the same thing which we have clicked here on this lifeline also appears here. So just select this one and press enter. If you will press enter, another lifeline will appear. So here you can also provide the function name by typing the name of this function and click outside. So by clicking just outside, you can see that another object has been created with its lifeline, and here you also provide, for example, n1 and n2, two inputs will be transferred here. So that means that two inputs are transferred here, and n1 and n2 are two inputs provided by the user here, and two inputs are transferred here. Now if you want to create another lifeline here, click on again here or select this lifeline of some object, click here and also click here and press enter. So another lifeline has been created. So next one is, for example, sum. So this one will be the result. So result will be transferred here. So and click here if you want to sum here. So that means that sum will be the result. So sum will be the results here. Now you can see that first user provided two different inputs to the input objects. These inputs are passed to the sum object, and the sum objects has passed these two to the result object, and at the end there is the sum will be provided, in fact, to the the result will provides input to another to the users. So you can in fact click here and plot this output arrow towards the users and write it here the sum, or select here the sum. So sum has been selected here. You can transfer this label towards the relevant positions here, and also if you want to adjust um, the 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 layout of your sequence, then you can also perform it by doing just selecting the particular label and drag drop everywhere you want in on the surface as you wish. So for example, this one I want to put it here, so I can do it. So this is the sequence diagram which I have created for the input of two numbers. Then these two numbers will be transferred to the sum module, and the sum module will transfer the result to the result module, and result module will transfer that output back to the user. So this is a complete sequence diagram or example of a simple sequence diagram here. Now if you want to draw another line here, you can select this line from here as well. So just you click it and you can pass that lines from here. Again I want to create, just click from here and drop it here. So for example, if this is n1 and this is n2, so you can specify two separate inputs as well here, but this is in fact not necessary. You can provide both input in one line as well. So just that's why if you want to delete this uh, link, so just select this link and click or press the delete button from your keyboard, and it will ask from you that are you sure you want to delete. So by clicking on the yes buttons, this particular um, line will be deleted. So this is a simple example for you for creating the sequence diagram in visual paradigm. I hope that it will be very much useful and interested for you, and it will be very much good for you or useful for you for creating the sequence diagram of your final year projects. And I suggest that you should use this tool thoroughly for your projects. Thank you very much. And also this is the end of our lecture. So if you have any questions, you can drop an email to my email address, that is m.kadim@kust.edu.pk. And also if you want to study more, you can use these URL links, and it contains different examples and you can study, but these slides are sufficient, and also this video is very much easy and quite useful for you. If you want to learn more, you can also use these links. Thank you very much.